Hey, how's it going, everyone? Justin again, as always. Thanks for watching my channel. Welcome back. Today we're going to be talking about the Makita Cxt 12-volt reciprocating saw, otherwise known as the Sawzall. This thing, like I already told you in a previous video, is very light in weight, and it's about half the size of your typical recip saw that you can get in the 18-volt platform. This being a 12-volt platform, wasn't exactly sure how heavy-duty or beneficial it was actually going to be when it came to the automotive profession. So I'm going to show you a series of video clips with one particular situation that I ran into at the independent shop, and then we'll talk about our final thoughts. Diablo. Alright, well, that's what I'm talking about, guys. Look, it did exactly what I wanted it to do, and I was able to cut that piece of hardware off. I have another piece of hardware that I got to cut here because this freaking bolt is just dunskies, man. If I go up underneath here with you guys and show you, there's like no freaking nut left at all. It's just all rusted and pitted out. So on the downside though, that's how much I'm able to get in there to cut, and I burnt the tip up on a really good blade, so I'll have to use another one. One done, halfway through the other. No, and this thing's actually getting super freaking hot, and it's starting to smoke. I'm putting this thing to the full test. If it can't get through 2 exhaust bolts, then there's something wrong there. I'm gonna put a new blade on, and I'm gonna at least get through it. The actual Sawzall is getting hot in my hand, and this thing's starting to smoke.
It's meant to do drywall.
I know, it's not, I'm trying to put it to the automotive test here though, and see if it's worthy enough. Blade 3, baby, come on. Whoa! Is that you? Yeah. You son of a bitch. He's got his fucking vapor mod out here. I just saw this puff of smoke and I felt my hand get hot. God damn it. Come on, baby. Go, 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 go. Come on. Come on. There it is. All right. Alright, so as you can see, I had to get in there pretty dang good in order to free up the exhaust, okay, because the downpipe to the manifold itself, we had 2 studs that were coming through with nuts on the end. There was so much rust that it was literally pitted and rounded down to the point where no actual size socket would fit on it. What used to be a 15 was no longer a 15, couldn't fit a 14 on there, couldn't fit anything in SAE on there. Went and looked underneath with a flashlight. It was so pitted there was no way to get any kind of a socket on. So I had 2 options. One, I could have used a oxyacetylene cutting torch to cut the hardware, and I'm sure that would have been a lot faster. However, you're not always going to have access to an oxyacetylene torch. You might be a pavement pounder or weekend warrior or DIY guy, and you're in the front yard of your house and you run into the same exact situation. And so what are you left with if you don't have a cutting torch? Sawzall, right? So then you're hoping that the 18-volt lineup will actually fit in the fender well, but from the images that you saw, there was a very, very tight space and it was very hard to get to. In fact, with the Diablo blades that I had, I was lucky enough to even just get the first part of the tip in there to try to get on the hardware, have enough pressure against it to cut through. Now what you will see is that I had to get so close that I did actually kind of wear a little bit on the metal as well as the rubber from having it against the frame, and it going back and forth, back and forth. It did kind of rub a little burn mark in the rubber, and it did kind of scuff the metal guard here, but still fully functional. One of the things that I will say about this is that for as hot as it got, and from what looked like it was smoking, it still kicked butt. I went through 1.5 batteries, and yeah, man, I think I might have pushed this to the ultimate limit for this specific situation. We're talking about some really hard metal when it's been rusted for God knows how long. This vehicle came from back east. I think they moved from New Hampshire or something like that. I don't know. All I know is that they've moved all the way out here to the valley, and their exhaust manifold was cracked, so we had to replace it. I did have to extract the hardware, and I did get lucky enough that that Titan bolt extractor that I picked up from O'Reilly's for 26 bucks really came in handy, saved the day as far as extracting. Didn't have to do a lot of effort, just bit and turn, sprayed some PB blaster, and out they came. So we were able to get the new manifold on with the new hardware, and everything was saved. The day was saved. So Makita for the win on this one with the 12 volt, but it was not my intent to really put it through that much in the very beginning. I really thought it was going to come down to maybe cutting something light like exhaust, or you know, a fastener that was relatively easy to get to, that I could let the blade do most of the work. But unfortunately, with only being able to get a fraction of that blade in there, this was as good as I could do. And yeah, she was hot when we were done. So, but at any rate, look, I'm giving it a thumbs up. I think it's a perfect tool to have in your arsenal, whether you're DIY or you're at the indie shop. You're always going to run into a situation where you need a little recip saw, and this thing being half the size. And yeah, I did put it to the ultimate test, first time use, but it came through. Came through with flying colors. That's all I got for this video. Leave your comments down below. Let me know what you think of the Makita lineup with the CXT. Do you find yourself possibly picking one up in the future for the automotive trade, or even for DIY at-home repairs? Since it is half the weight, even Mama can enjoy it because she doesn't have to worry about this big heavy-duty thing and stretching her arm out. That's all I got for this video. Till next time, deuces.